10 pieces of equipment that are essential for your daycare and hotel. And today I have the esteemed presence of Andre Castozin, who is the CEO of one of the largest and best daycare and hotels in Curitiba. Perhaps in Brazil and the world.
Yes, go ahead, Andre. Good afternoon, Ricardo. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you. Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure. So today we're going to talk a little bit about 10 pieces of equipment, 10 items that you can't afford to miss in your daycare and hotel.
You might be wondering, but Ricardo, do you also work with hotels and daycare? Yes, I also work in that area. We set up stores that have hotels and daycare, and I'm bringing Andre along with us. He will also be our consultant in this area. So, here you will also find hotel and daycare content, always here. Along with Andre, make sure to follow him on Instagram, which is Andre, where he shares a lot of information. Andre, so let's move on to the first piece of equipment that you can't do without. Go ahead then.
So, beds and blankets, right? It's very important for us to have beds. The ideal is Bud Toys, stainless steel beds. The dogs won't be able to bite or destroy these beds. Their fabric is excellent. So, it's hard for them to tear them apart. And if it happens, it's very easy to replace. They have them for sale, top-notch equipment, but it's not that bed you used to keep at home.
Right?
No.
What's this like? Bed?
It's a professional bed for sure. It's specifically for daycare and hotel. It's specifically designed for that.
It's elevated.
It's an elevated bed, and the entire structure is made of stainless steel. So, there's no problem if the dog destroys it. If he pees, it's also very easy to wash, very easy to clean.
So it's not for you to use those beds that you have at home. It's for using this type of bed that Andre is showing there.
That fabric bed is going to cause problems.
Second item, Andre.
The second item would be houses or transport boxes. Because dogs sometimes get scared, they're a bit nervous and they like to hide. So, when you have a little house there, or even a transport box, he will be able to find a safe place for himself. So, when he goes into that little house, you leave him there. You won't mess with him because he'll feel safe. And the other dogs will also feel that this is the spot. To respect him, not go over there, mess with him.
And if you work too, just imagine with a big bowl and a small dog, you need to have a big bowl and a small bowl.
Yes, you will need to have different sizes. And the third item that I also like to mention, it's always stainless steel bowls for the dogs to drink water. Why stainless steel? Because stainless steel doesn't get damaged easily. If the dog scratches the bowl, it won't be a problem, so it won't. Problems with bacteria. It's very easy to clean, very easy to fill these bowls. It keeps the water fresh precisely because of the metal there, so for hygiene reasons, stainless steel is the best option.
And these bowls, how is the division among the dogs there that need to stay?
The more bowls you have in your environment, better, because there are dogs that won't like to drink the water that another one has already had. There are dogs that don't care. They'll drink with everyone. So, the more you have, the better you'll be able to serve the whole team. All the dogs you have there? Let's go to number 4.
So, go ahead.
Scoops and trash bins. Scoops, those metal scoops for picking up dog waste. So, a lot of people prefer to use bags, but I don't like it. Because with a bag, if it's diarrhea or even vomit, man, it's not nice to bend down and pick that up. The scoop, you're far away there. The trash bin with a pedal too.
So it's the scoop that has that handle, right? Yes, the scoop has the handle.
The scoop is made of metal, it's long, so it's much more hygienic and easy to wash too. It's also easier for the person who's there.
Right.
Exactly, for the person to keep bending down. Imagine being there all day. If you take care of 20, 30 dogs, how many waste piles are you going to pick up in a day? Bending down all the time isn't great. So the scoop is much better for the team. Fifth item, Mr. Andre, what is it? Toys, but not just any toys. They're the big toys, the ones that dogs can climb on. These toys can be made of wood, concrete, or plastic, which is the most common. So they're those elevated toys where the dogs will climb and have fun up there. So today we have products specifically for the pet market, but there are also those for kids that we can use.
Cool. Is there a minimum quantity? How do you choose for your space?
So you're really going to have to depend on the size of your space, because these are toys that take up a lot of room too. So, if you don't have a very large area, there's no point in buying it. For 3 or 4 toys, there won't be any space for the dogs to stay. So you'll have to analyze. There you can fit 1 or 2, so maybe a smaller one and a bigger one. So, you have to analyze based on the space you will have available. Because besides that, we have the beds. So, there has to be space for everyone. And number 6, Andre, what is it? So we have chew toys, the chewers, so nylon toys, wooden toys that the dogs will chew on. The act of chewing is relaxing for dogs, so it's really good to have this type of toy in your daycare because the dogs are going to bite. They're going to chew on this and they're going to relax. So it's a great time. So after lunch or closer to the time to leave, that these dogs will be there, lowering their energy levels, relaxing so they can go home.
Or even to sleep for those who will be staying over. So it can be made of nylon or plastic, but I recommend more nylon and wood.
And wood, because with plastic, they're going to break off pieces. They're going to eat it. Even those that are more rubbery.
Got it. So, made of wood, like for example here, Chico's stick from Oliva Pet, which is a product made from coffee wood. This product here, you know, it doesn't splinter, it granulates. So it's much safer. The pet can even swallow it, which is not a problem at all. And it also gets a coconut oil bath, which makes it much tastier. This here is a cool toy. I didn't know you could use that at the daycare too.
We don't use it, we use it there.
Cool, then look at Chico's for you too, since you have a hotel and daycare. And now number 7.
What is number 7? They are the stuffable toys, just like the Hive from Bud Toys. Because these toys here are more or less in the same idea as the rodents. They are meant to relax the dogs. So, as we talked about the little houses and the transport boxes, sometimes the dog is a bit scared. He's not having a very good day. Grab one of these toys, stuff it, give it to him so he can calm down, so he can relax. It's a great activity for this type of dog. Or even that little dog that's already checked in, has spent some time in your hotel. He's already more stressed, he can't take it anymore either. Put him to rest. Put a stuffable toy for him and he'll stay there. Calm down, it'll be better for him.
And do these stuffable toys have a minimum amount? How do you do this one? What is stuffable? What is chewable? What is a big toy? What's the dynamic like? How is there a rule? For the number of dogs X, so many toys. What's it like?
So the ideal is always to have a greater number than the number of dogs you are taking care of that day. So if I'm going to use this type of toy right now, and I have 20 dogs, I need to have at least 20. But ideally, you should have 30 or 40 to avoid any kind of dispute among these dogs, because this type of toy will have a very important resource inside, which is the food, and we don't want the dogs to fight over food. So the more I have, the better, because the faster one already has another one to grab. The same goes for the other toys. The more I have, the better. Number 8. So now let's talk about plush toys and ropes, right? A plush toy isn't for every dog, right? This here is going to be used for small dogs, because a large dog is going to destroy this really quickly and there's a risk of eating the stuffing. So this here is for small dogs. If you work a lot with Spitz and ORC, then they love this type of toy, especially because it makes noise, right? The plush toys are for small dogs. Ropes are for medium and large dogs who enjoy tug of war and chewing. These are excellent toys for bigger dogs. Tug of war, they like to chew on the ropes too. So, these are excellent toys for those bigger dogs.
Just a reminder that this plush toy here is high resistance. It's from Oliva Pet. You can buy it all over Brazil. Talk to the folks at Oliva Pet. The link is here in the video description. Number 9.
So we have the interactive toys, right? These toys are really going to engage the dog's mind. So it's really interesting to use them to tire them out in a way that's not just physical activity. So they're going to have to think about how they're going to get it out, the treat, the food from inside here. So it's really cool to use this type of toy in your daycare or hotel.
Number 10 now, huh? What will it be?
Yeah, we can't forget that we're dealing with dogs and accidents can happen. So it's really important for us to have a first aid kit, both for our staff and for the dogs we're taking care of. An accident, a little scratch, can happen during an interaction between the dogs. So having a first aid kit to take care of them is going to be the best option for you to avoid any issues with your client.
Later, okay? So a lot of people really end up getting hurt, right?
It can happen. Since we are dealing with animals, these animals may eventually start fighting. We will always work to avoid this. But if it happens, sometimes when separating, it can accidentally catch you, so you can have a little cut on your hand, something. So having a first aid kit will help both the dogs and your team.
So we've reached the end of our list of 10 essential pieces of equipment that you can't miss in your daycare hotel. I want to thank my dear friend once again, Andre Tozin, for the tips. Guys, From now on, Andre will occasionally talk about topics related to hotel and daycare here. So make sure to follow us too. If you have a hotel and daycare, don't forget to follow Andre on Instagram. Andrew, and there he has a lot of tips for you who are in this business or who want to get into the hotel and daycare industry. And just to wrap up, this guy here offers consulting and mentoring all over Brazil for those in this field or for anyone who's in this business. So don't forget to follow him on Instagram. Send him a message and he'll tell you how his work works. Andre, once again, my dear, thank you. Thank you, Ricardo. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you, everyone. It's a great pleasure to be here, helping you and giving tips to improve this market in Brazil even more.